Good afternoon, George Cavaligos for HFT Bonds and Notes. The importance of watching both bonds and notes together. Yield curve changes, levels, lags, leads. We saw a situation today where we were looking for this rally, thank God, almost got stopped out this morning, but once the market turned, we were looking at 146.30 and 132.30 as our objectives for this upside move. And I said in the chat, whichever one of those gets hit is when we want to liquidate our longs. So of course the bonds got up to 146.30. The notes were lagging a little bit behind. They only got up to 132.28. They didn't quite get to 132.30. But I ended up selling, I think, 27 pluses or 27s in the 10-year note to get out of some of my longs. Still got a little bit, and I'm not sure, because we're in some kind of a corrective move, I think, whether I'm going to get, in more immediate gratification, or whether I'm going to have to sit through more of a pullback. I think I'm going to have to sit through more of a pullback here, either tonight, tomorrow, into the 30-year auction, and I'm going to run a break-even stop on the rest of my long. And if we see the market go down a little bit more and then reverse, I could always just get long again. I don't want to lose money on this trade. I sat with it, a couple ticks in my face for a day, and I don't feel like letting a winner turn into a loser at this point. So that's the plan. Looking at the real short-term count, I think we did an A wave up. I think we're doing a B wave down, and I think this B wave could hold some important support levels in the bonds around 146.08 to 12. The 10-year, we could get back down to 132.19 half to 132.21 half. And if we go a little bit further, then we're going to look for retests of the lows. 132.17 and what was it, 146 even. B waves can even make slightly lower lows. And if that happens, what you want to look for is the snapback. Say the bonds are trading weak, we get some bad news somewhere, the bond market breaks below 146 even, but then comes right back and gets right back above it. That's, in Elliott terms, we call them throwovers. Wyckoff calls them up thrusts or jumping the creek. Market profile guys call them failures, or oh God, I don't even remember all the different names, but you get the idea. It's just kind of something to keep in mind. I do want to be long coming out of the 30-year auction tomorrow. Seasonals will favor that trade. Buy, 30 years in the bond market, guys. Buy the May refunding, sell the November refunding. I used to know guys that would just do that one trade a year, and that was it. If it worked, it was always great. Didn't always work, but the odds were pretty high. And lately, the odds of buying the May refunding or darn near every one of the monthly bond auctions are pretty good. I think if my memory serves me correctly, and I haven't researched this, since the Fed went to monthly bond auctions, 3 years ago? I think there's only been 3 times that I've lost money being long the bond market into the next day. So it's basically the next 24 hours. Buy the bond auction tomorrow, sell them Friday at noon, and go fishing or whatever you like to do. And I think out of the last 36 times, I think I only lost money 3, maybe 4 times. So it's not bad. I'll take that. Levels on the downside, I gave them to you. On the upside, we sort of met, like I said, the 146.30, 31 level. 132.28, I didn't have a whole lot there. I was looking for the 133.30 level on the 10-year, the old high that we saw yesterday. And then 133.09, looking for those fib retracements on the way up. I think with very little supply looming next week, and more talk of possible QE. I almost think, reading between the lines of what the ECB guys were saying this morning, they might even be thinking about it. I don't know if the German sort of Weimar Republic thing might keep them from allowing that to happen, but just the idea is enough to make the Bund market rally almost a point, and the bonds rally, what, 30 ticks off the low, almost a point. Just a hint. And more QE, you know, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, but as a bond trader, it'll make the bonds go up. Whatever, you know, at least in the short term, it'll make the bonds go up. So there we are. You got my game plan. Come and hang out in the chat room, guys. A lot of room, a lot of good stuff going on, a lot of good ideas, a lot of good conversation. Have a great night.